what do you know? Appearing on camera yet again, Sandy.
I'm quite fetching, or at least I was back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
I watched about the first 20 minutes of there's a show, I don't know where the hell it's on. I think it's on Netflix, but I'm not sure, about the Gotti family.
Yeah.
Thought of you the whole time, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Nice Italian boy from out east. What could be better than that?
Well, the guy was unfairly maligned.
Yes, exactly right. Well, you remember this, Bob, when Victoria got it, his daughter used to call into the morning show and do check-ins with us on her dad in prison.
Yeah, it's and he did he die in prison, or did he get out and then die?
Nope, he died in prison. You're absolutely right.
He avoided the slammer for quite some time, and then they finally got him.
He did indeed, ladies and gentlemen, and he was cockier than a son of a bitch about it too. That's the other part.
Teflon Don.
Yeah, you think you're going to arrest me? Go ahead and give it a whirl. See how that works out for you. Settle down.
Wasn't there a juror or two who might have been convinced he was innocent?
Maybe, possibly, maybe a little cash went their way. I'm not sure, Bob.
Oh, I think it might have been more than cash. It might have been, hey, he's innocent, right?
You heard me.
Well, they put a gun to his head.
Right, we'll kill your whole family.
It's your whole effing family too. It's got to be the effing in there. We'll kill your whole effing family.
That, like, looking back at that kind of era in history, it's just so wild to me that these guys that were, essentially criminals today that would be vilified were like these mythical legends and had their own fan club and people that supported them and stuff like that.
Well, I never asked you guys this. You guys ever had anybody in your family murdered?
Nope. Nobody.
Not that I'm aware of.
Nope. Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm the only one, and there were 3 of them in my family. What does that tell you?
You're carrying the average.
That we might piss people off with our family. That's what I'm thinking. And it was my mother's family, not my father's family. It's my mother's family. The first one I didn't, because I wasn't born yet when they broke both his arms and legs and stuck them head first into a snowbank in Anoka.
Was he mouthy?
I think he talked about the wrong guy. I think that happened. And then Ed got beaten to death with a pipe. And then the other Augie was thrown off a building in downtown Minneapolis. So I do remember those 2. That's kind of weird, though. I don't think about that very often, that I've gone through some stuff in my life that most people don't ever go through. But it seemed like it was normal to me. Oh, really? Another uncle got murdered? Okay, well, I'm going to go watch Mickey Mouse.
I still got 2 more, so what's it to you?
Yeah, there's a couple more out there. Don't worry about it. Not anymore, I don't. They're all gone now, baby. Anyway, Sandy, by the way, Bradshaw and Bryant brings you Bob Sansevere Sports. Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyer seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant, MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. Bob Sansevere. Didn't watch the Vikings yesterday. I was at Seavers Festival.
I saw pictures.
God, everybody saw those pictures. They must be everywhere. I didn't even know there were pictures.
Yeah, you're a very good husband, sitting for that picture with your wife holding a pumpkin, and you're there as the doting grandpa.
I was the doting grandpa. It's absolutely true. And I'll tell you this story quickly because everybody else knows, Bob.
Yeah.
Get home last night, tired as hell, wash up, hit the sack. I get up this morning, change my underwear, corn falling out of my butt crack. Just great. Just wonderful, Bob. He's laughing. He thinks, yeah, thanks. There was corn in my underwear all night, and I never felt it at all. So,
are you sure it was corn? It wasn't a polyp that just fell out.
Oh my God!
There were 7 polyps that snapped off last night. Exactly.
Oh my
Good for you.
That's just a typical Friday night for Bob Sansevere.
Yeah, exactly.
Corn falling out of everywhere.
That's it. That's everything. So, Sandy, the Vikings didn't look any better, even though they won. They still suck.
They played their 2 wins against 2 of the worst teams, and probably the 2 worst teams. Now the Bears, what it was last, not last, their 2 Thursday nights ago, they looked pretty good, but that was just an aberration. They went back to what they are, a bad team, and it was actually funny. Kirk Cousins is talking about they played a Creed song. Was it Higher? And that's why they won. It inspired them. No, you played a crap team.
Exactly.
That's why you won. It had nothing to do with Creed.
Right. Creed. Yeah. And you put up that performance, you're gonna think that we need to blame it on the Creed song. Like if that's you guys playing as a pumped up squad, I'd hate to see what you look like on your
Yeah.
off days.
And
So
if
they were
Justin
pretty
Fields
bad.
hadn't gotten hurt, they would have lost that game.
Yeah.
Mhm. So they were pretty bad. I didn't see any of the games. So
I will say the defense is playing better. Again, though, you look better when you're playing against a bad team.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I thought it looked a little bit better. And offensively, they will absolutely miss Justin Jefferson. And I know all the Kirk Cousins sycophants out there, putting up statistics is one thing. Putting up wins is another.
Yeah, exactly.
He made one of the worst decisions a quarterback could make. He's getting taken down, and he throws the ball behind him to, was that Cam Akers? I think it was Cam Akers. I don't think Madison was on the field then. And the ball, luckily, I actually thought it was a turnover, but the Bear slipped out of bounds with it, and they said it was still Vikings ball. But you don't throw behind you
No.
when you're being taken down. It's not a good way to go.
Is he that stupid?
I mean, people will defend, they beat the Colts. They came back, set a record.
Ooh.
There was no pressure on them at that point.
Mhm.
I just think he does get panicky.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's proven that this year with the time management, the clock management.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Bob. I didn't, like I said, I'm not avoiding the Vikings, but I had a better thing to do, hang out with my family all day yesterday. So I didn't see a minute of it, but I have heard from many people they were very mediocre.
Well, and again, like I said this, and they did play the Chiefs decently, but they're getting a Niners team that lost.
Oh, I know. I saw that.
That's not a good thing to happen. And Christian McCaffrey, it's an oblique injury. I would be very surprised if he missed the game, on next Monday night. He's got an extra day to heal. And if McCaffrey had been in that game for the Niners, they would have wound up winning. And also, I've rarely ever said this, but the officials did have a big hand in the outcome of that Niner game. So they're going to be facing a Niner team that's going to be pissed that they lost.
So that's a Monday night game a week from tonight.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
And although, do you think that because the Vikings are so bad that if McCaffrey is kind of on the fence of playing, they go, well, it's just the Vikings. We can beat the Vikings without our best player and we can get him an extra week of rest and come back at it next week? Or do you think they're looking at it as we got to get him out here because we can't lose 2 in a row?
I think they wound up taping him up and giving him a lot of, an oblique injury is not a common injury. I mean, guys get them, but I don't think they put you on the shelf for that long. I don't think he's going to miss the game.
Yeah.
So he's going to want to be in there, and they're going to want him in there because they're going to say, well, wait a minute, look what happened here. We did lose. So I think they'll certainly see how he can play. And Elijah Mitchell, he was supposed to play yesterday, but they went right to Jordan Mason, who I think is their third back. So I think that he'll wind up playing, and Deebo Samuel could be a little bit longer. Those shoulder injuries, those are pesky.
Yeah.
So they will be down one very good receiver, but their defense can play.
Bob, don't you think that I've had enough since 1967 of watching this team get their ass kicked every year?
You have had enough, Tom. I think you should grow a beard and not shave it off until they win the Super Bowl. Like that poor guy.
I was walking on it by the time he died. I remember that. Literally, he was dragging on the ground.
And like at some point, he was like, I never should have opened my stupid mouth. I got a beard now that I can't cut. These damn Vikings won't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know what to tell you. It's just you got hey, and now let's be honest. It's been 30 years since we've won anything in baseball as well. So that's it's time to pick that up too, don't you think?
That and the Wild had the great start, and then they played Saturday night, and they get 7 goals they give up. It's no longer Minnesota's no longer the land of hockey or the state of hockey.
No,
sorry, AJ.
Yeah, the AJ. This is a sensitive subject, Bob.
They played
I know
Toronto.
that.
What do you expect? Austin Matthews is on pace to score 264 goals this season.
Okay, you know what I expect? I expect a team that supposedly is going to be a Stanley Cup contender to play a little better than that. That's what I expect.
Well, they were dropping like flies too, Bob. They're already going to be missing Matt Boldy here. They're going to be down to 11 forwards, 7 defensemen for a little
AJ,
bit.
it's called depth. Get yourself ready for guys to get hurt. People get hurt.
What I'm saying is with the salary cap stuff, they can't call up another forward. Like they have to. They don't have enough cap space because of how tightly strapped they are. So they're running 11 forwards, 7 defensemen until guys can come on back and be healthy. It's crazy.
This is like listening to a Kirk Cousins There's always a reason.
No, I'm just stating how wild it is that with the NHL refuses to raise, like they're not making money, so they can't raise the salary cap. So
No, they don't make any money.
and multiple teams are running that way.
The salary cap, is that still from what the Parisi or whatever?
Yeah, this year and next year. So they're $13.5 million that just can't be spent on anybody.
Jeez.
What?
Uh-huh.
Seemed like a good idea when it happened.
Yeah, well, they essentially just paid some people to stay home, is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Parisi still around?
No, he's out. Where is he now?
He was with the Islanders out in New York, but he, to my knowledge, is not. He's still a free agent. He's possibly going to come back middle of the season, but it's not like he's jumping at the bid.
Right. I'll say at this point, if we're paying you, you might as well just come put a Wild jersey on.
Well, that's the thing. If he officially retires before that contract, the buyout stuff is done, then the Wild are slapped with an even heavier penalty, and so that can get extended out. So I think he, despite probably the negativity around like getting bought out and like the resentment, he knows that there's implications. It doesn't want to hurt the hometown.
That's interesting. So if a guy is a free agent, nobody signed him, and the team is still paying him, they'd have to pay him again to come back because he's not going to come back for the money. He's the free money. So but in other words, he ain't coming back.
No, not at all.
And by the way, your college hockey, that St. Thomas team gave the Gophers, took them to overtime Friday night because they have that transfer portal's been good to the Tommies. So you're a college hockey fan, AJ, or just a I followed in Passelt's footsteps, so I went to St. Cloud State. Huskies, rough start to the season, rough sweep at Mankato this past weekend. But you're right, the Tommies. I was a little shocked the first weekend when they split with St. Cloud, and then they really give the Gophers and Bob Motzko's crew a run for their money on that Friday night. Saturday, not as much, but still they didn't get blown out.
Exactly, it's
like the Wild.
Competitive. So once they get some easier schedules or some easier opponents down their schedule, I'm excited to see what the Tommies can do.
What else do you follow? Are you just a hockey guy?
No, I like soccer. I'm a little bit of everything.
Soccer,
you're a Loons guy.
A little football, yeah. I'd like. I kind of have to be with my rollover at Score North. I produce all the soccer games, so no longer Adrian Heath. They boot him after 7 years.
AJ, you're telling us a lot more than we need to know.
I know, but here's the thing: they boot him, and this is a team that couldn't score more than 2 goals for the entire season. And as soon as they get rid of their coach, 48 hours later, they put up 5.
Whoa. Oh, Bob, you knock it off. Nobody picks on AJ. You knock it off.
That is the correct response.
I'm not picking on AJ. I'm picking on soccer.
Soccer is one of those sports where it's like it's not obviously not the greatest. It's not very popular here. But if you go to a Loons game, like you can't help but get caught up in the atmosphere. It is very fun to go see live. But I would never watch it on TV. I'm asleep in the first 5 minutes.
Steve Cannon, he nailed it. You know the quote?
Nope. What was that?
Why do 20,000 kids in Minnesota play soccer? So they don't have to watch it.
Done.
That was one of Cannon's best jokes ever. Cannon was pretty damn good, actually. He was a really, really good on the air.
They won 1-0, an absolute blowout.
That is a blowout in soccer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's that guy again that just signed for over $1 billion?
Is that Messi?
Not Ronaldo, Messi.
Yeah, Lionel Messi.
Or no, who's the no, Mbappe? Mbappe, I think is who you're talking about.
There's nobody named Mbappe.
Yeah, he turned down like $1 billion.
That's a song.
No, you're talking about Ronaldo going to the Saudi league.
No, it wasn't Mbappe. It was Mbappe that turned down there was like almost $1 billion to go to Saudi Arabia. Then he signed with somebody else.
Yeah, he turned that down and he stayed in France with PSG, Pierre Saint-Germain.
But yeah, Ronaldo's another one that they essentially give him enough money to run a country to go play soccer.
Yeah, exactly.
Mbappe was offered a $1.1 billion contract.
Really?
Yeah.
To play
This
soccer.
tells you how screwed up it is over in Europe and the Middle East to have that kind of money to throw around to soccer players.
Well, it's everywhere except for the United States, isn't it? Soccer's big everywhere but here.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, Canada, they like their soccer up there.
Absolutely. They got some good players too.
All right. That's what I've heard.
And you're diehard soccer fans, Tom. Well, like AJ seems like you have to though, because that's part of your job. So I get that.
I've kind of followed it too. I follow the Premier League because the product between here and Europe is so drastic. So it's a little more waking up, and plus it's a great buffer into NFL Sundays because all those games are done by like noon perfectly. So it's just you coast in from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then boom, we got NFL kickoff. So it's nice.
I like that. That works for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went to several. Well, Tino Lettieri is one of my best friends, and he was a soccer goalie for God, how many years?
A lot.
A lot. He was a goalie forever for the Kicks and the
Strikers.
Strikers. Yeah, there you go. Very good, Bob. Bob, look at you coming up.
Oh, Bob's a secret soccer fan.
No, Bob had to cover soccer when he was when it was off season for football.
Sure, Bob. Let me just snore into my microphone real quick.
Wait, let me see that tattoo. Oh my God. Does it say Loons for life?
Loons for life, baby.
Bold to get that across your forehead, Bob.
That's bold.
I will tell you, that stadium over in St. Paul is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They did a nice job with that stadium.
Yeah, we're still waiting for the renovations to the surrounding area to kick in.
Well,
yes,
they're
the stadium
trying.
itself. Is
They're trying, baby.
I got an ice cream cone the other day right next to there, and I have to ask, where do people park when they go to Loons games?
in the big ass parking lot that
The huge
surrounds the
parking
stadium.
lot. Yeah.
But is that enough for the stadium?
Yeah,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the stadium doesn't. It probably
not that
went
big.
like 20,000 ish.
Okay.
Maybe it's
That's
not like
probably right.
A lot of people will park for further away and then take the light rail because it
Mhm.
runs right.
Oh
into
yeah,
it.
that's
So,
true.
Like when I go, I'll park at the Hubbard offices and then I'll hop on the train. But it's just the cars are fully packed with Loons fans, so it's nice.
I
You don't
took
think
one of the
Hubbard-
few.
Hubbard
I'm
does.
sorry, Tom.
No, he's stealing a spot from me over at the Hubbard parking lot. No wonder I can never get a
Or-
spot.
I park specifically in the spot that says "Save for Tom Bernard."
Same.
well, if he
Same.
didn't park there, that parking spot would probably have like cobwebs on it because I'm assuming you don't make too many trips over to the
I don't know
Hubbard.
what you're talking about.
Somebody's got to put it to use.
I have no idea what you guys are referring to. No question. All right, Sandy, what else is happening? Anything else you got cooking in your end?
Well, the Gophers, congratulations to them not losing a game this weekend. Of course, they had a bye.
They had that open. I was going to say, well, the Gophers, well, they didn't play. Oh, good line, Bob.
And I got to tell you about now at D3, St. John's is the best D3 team in the state, but Carleton, they put out like a sort of like a press release of all the great things that they have going on there. And one of them, 5-0, first in the MIAC, because they were undefeated. And St. John's lost to one of the top teams in the country earlier this year, non-conference game. So they played on Saturday. The top team in the MIAC gave up 63 points to the Johnnies and scored only 7. So
Jesus.
they got a guy, Boz Bostrom, who's the head of the accounting department, great guy. He was poking a little fun at him that now he says second in the MIAC because St. John's they're in a class by themselves.
Where is Carleton again?
Carleton is Northfield. Isn't that where
Northfield. That's right. Yeah, you're right.
That's where
St.
Wellstone
Olaf.
taught, I think, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, St. Olaf's there too, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Right there.
Which one did he teach at? Carleton or St. Olaf?
I think Carleton. I think, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but that's
Well,
a
listen to Bob.
Northfield school.
Bob goes, or St. Olaf. It's like St. Olaf. St. Olaf.
Olaf.
Trying to fit in.
No, that's the way I that's the way I roll.
That's a nice area down there. I like to go down to the Jesse James days.
I love Jesse James days.
Fun, isn't it?
It's super fun. When I was a teenager, this kid threw a water glass at me and I chased him down and tackled him at Jesse James Day.
I hope it was a plastic lightweight one.
It was, yeah, well, they threw I'm sure it was actually like pop because it was one of those like pop, whatever, turned around, threw it at me and my friend Michelle. And he was like, I was like a teenager and he's probably 10 or 11 trying to impress his friends. So I chased him down and then made him give me tickets for rides.
I
Wait a
love
minute,
that.
You
That
ran
is
down
amazing.
a 4th grader.
Yep. You had it coming.
Yes, I did.
We all learned something that day.
I couldn't agree with you more. No question. Chase him down, damn it.
Jesse James days are immaculate. Good call, Tom.
What did he ever end up that bank robbery? It was a bank robbery, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just another example of us idolizing people murdering people.
Yeah, really nice. Well, it's either Jesse James or Corleone. I can't decide which one I like more.
Right?
That's true. You're absolutely right. Got about 2 minutes left, Bob. What else you got?
Well, let me have you because you watch streaming, right?
Mhm.
Have you ever seen? I never saw the first Meg. Then I saw it was on. I watched Meg. Meg 2 is terrific. Have
What
you
is
watched
Meg?
him?
What is
The thing with
big-ass
Jason Statham or Statham, however the hell you say it.
No, I don't watch his. I can't stand him.
Really?
Every movie he's in, he talks exactly. I mean, he doesn't. Does he ever pre-read what he's reading?
Doesn't matter. He kicks a lot of ass.
He does like to kick ass. Doesn't
Kick the ass of a megalodon.
Why is the Meg 2 good? Because you're gonna have to convince me to watch the Meg 2. No, go.
Yeah.
Because there's good action in it. There's a great story. Well, maybe not a great story, but there's actually a story in it,
Great.
which I didn't expect much. I thought it was all going to take place underwater. It doesn't. Fighting bad guys, eco-terrorists. There's a lot of good. You're into eco, right? You're an eco warrior or whatever.
Me? I'm an eco warrior. I mean, I could pretend to be if that makes the story better. But I here's the thing. I remember seeing clips of the Meg 2 and thinking that's enough, or the Meg 1 and thinking that's enough shark for me.
Meg
But
2
if
is
you're
much better than Meg 1.
all right. Okay.
So are you like Sharknado fan as well?
I'm not a Sharknado fan. I didn't think I'd like the Meg 2, but I said, let's see it. Because I remember my son had seen it and he really liked it. And I said, come on. But it turned out it was good. And then I also watched, have you watched the new Frasier series, Tom?
Phenomenal.
I really like it.
It's really, really good. There are 2 episodes out that I know of. And I think that's it for right now. It's 2 episodes. It is tremendously good.
And they're on Thursday night, CBS will have both of them on, and you watch it on Paramount Plus as I did.
You're right.
And a new episode will drop every Thursday. The character who they have that he was on, but he wasn't on enough, is the kid that plays Niall's son.
Yes.
He's hilarious.
Yes. I'm telling you, that show is really, really good. I had a nice balance in when they all talk about finding a balance in the universe.
Yeah.
Right? So we watched Frasier. It was really, really good. 2 episodes came out. Do you know how many total episodes this season?
10.
There are 10. That's what I'd heard. Yeah. To balance things out, because Frasier was so good, Catherine and I went to a movie on Saturday night. It is by far the worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life. It's called The Royal Hotel. It's an Australian movie. Every minute of the movie sucked.
Royal Hotel.
It was terrible.
What is this?
I mean, the women in it that were good. It wasn't the acting. It was the writing. The writing in the movie was horrendous.
What I suggest you do is what I did right after the second new Frasier. They started from season 1, episode 1 of Frasier.
Yeah.
It's been so long. It was a phenomenal start to that series.
Was. Yes, sir.
It was one of the best written series out there.
He's wonderful. What a talent.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to the other ones. The one thing I will very quickly say, I think they've taken the Frederick as a kid. He was different than he is now as an adult. He's much more, he's not like he was kind of a prissy kid, wasn't he?
Well, he's a pain in the ass in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I just,
he goes, yeah, well.
Who wasn't?
Yeah.
That's true. Very good.
And still is.
And still is.
All right, Sandy. A magnificent report, I thought.
Yeah. Well, I got to go. My piece of tape fell off or you wouldn't be seeing me.
Yeah, we love seeing you, Bob.
Yeah.
We're used to it. You look great.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys later.
All right, Bob. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere, brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant, Minnesota personal injury.com.